Welcome to Quah Order. My name is Ryan Smith, and I will be your host for today. And this is...
I'm Tim Smith, and I am the co-host for Quah Order. And joining us on this edition of Quah Order is Sergeant Ryan Raulerson of the Issaquah Police Department. Welcome.
Hey, thanks, Tim. I really appreciate that. I'm happy to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, well, before we get started, because we're going to be talking about the Pink Patch and that program and stuff like that, but before that, let's learn a little bit about you. Tell us how long you've been with the Issaquah Police Department and kind of like where you came from, just some bio.
Sure, absolutely. So I've been with the Issaquah Police Department for just a little over 16 years. I came to the department in 2003 from the Langley Police Department over on Whidbey Island. I worked there for about 10 years before coming over here. So I've had a chance to do a lot of fun stuff in the department. I've spent a lot of my time in the patrol division. I was a drug recognition expert, where I was specially trained to interdict drug-impaired drivers as opposed to just alcohol-impaired drivers. And that is a program throughout the state, so you'd help out agencies, neighboring agencies with their DUIs that were drug-impaired. Then in about 2008, I went into our detective division. Investigate all types of crimes. Our detectives are not specialists like some agencies have. They're just general. We're just generalists, so we investigate whatever crimes come through the agency and are referred to our division. So after a few years in detectives, I returned to patrol and then started to promoted to corporal and then on to sergeant. And then in a reorganization a few years ago, I was offered the position of administrative sergeant, and in that position, I oversee the department's 3 detectives, the school resource officer program, and the community resource officer program.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So just to jump back real quick,
sure.
So the drug recognition thing, so that takes special training, right?
It does.
And then the IPD would loan you out to other departments?
So it did require a lot of special training. Okay. It was upwards of 120 hours, I think, for the certification process for it. And then when you would come in service on patrol, you would have to call in service with the state patrol as a drug recognition expert so that other agencies would know that you were working and could call on you if that was necessary. So,
okay. Well, that was interesting. That's nice. Well, that's great. So you've been with the department for a long time. Ryan, do you have a question for Mr. Raulerson?
So, what about the Pink Patch program? I know that you've been heading this up, and so can you explain kind of what's going on with it and maybe some history on it, and then go into what we're doing and what you're doing here at the Issaquah Police Department with it? Yeah,
absolutely. 3 years ago, I was approached by an individual who actually does a lot of work for us, creating our challenge coins and some of the memorabilia that we've created over the years. And he introduced me to the Pink Patch program and asked if we would like to be involved in it. It's a national program to promote awareness of during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October. So and to give you a little background on the program in and of itself, it was started in 2013 by the Seal Beach Police Department in Southern California. They created a patch that was basically their uniform patch in pink hues, and wore it during the month of October. I believe they did it in 2014 as well. And then in 2015, the Irwindale Police Department, which is also in Southern California, created a pink patch as well, and they decided they wanted to sell the patch for charity. And that year, Irwindale Police Department raised about $20,000 for the City of Hope Hospital in Southern California. And so then it's kind of just caught fire across the nation over the last few years. And upwards of, I think this year they were expecting to have about 400 agencies participate.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a really neat program. We got involved in it about 3 years ago when our representative from Black Knight Implement Insignia approached me and asked me if we'd be interested in participating. So the first year, which would have been 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017. We basically just took our normal uniform patch and changed it over. It was kind of a dark black color with the fish in the middle and some pink in it, and just basically turned our normal uniform patch into the pink patch.
Right, I remember that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that year we worked with the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, and we raised about $1,200 for Seattle Cancer Care Alliance that year selling the patch. And we had probably about a third of the department wear it that year, which was really cool. And then the next year, as we kind of sat down and looked at 2018 and try to decide what we wanted to do for the patch, there was kind of this thought that we should create something that was different than the year before. Mm-hmm. That way it's kind of a collector's item, and it changes it up a little bit. And I would like to take credit for being able to put the Sasquatch on the patch in 2018, but that idea came from one of our corporals, Tim Baylor.
Okay.
He had asked about creating a patch, just a normal uniform patch with a Sasquatch on it, and obviously, the city of Issaquah uses a Sasquatch on a regular basis as a marketing tool, and hashtag legendary Issaquah.
This is true.
So, and so I approached the chief with it and said, "We use the Sasquatch pretty regularly. Is it okay if we put the Sasquatch on the patch? I think that would go over really well. The Sasquatch gets a lot of play, and people are really interested in that." And certainly, the chief was like, "Oh, that'd be great." So in 2018, we changed the design completely, and we had the walking Sasquatch, which is the kind of average everyday picture of the Sasquatch walking through the patch, basically.
Kind of like that iconic pose, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I think I don't know if you can see the metal thing right above us, but it's right there. So
yeah, that's kind of the look.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the look of it.
So we put that together. You got Mount Rainier in the background, that type of thing, and so we put that together. We ended up changing the charity last year. We went from Seattle Cancer Care Alliance to a smaller charity based in Maple Valley, Footprints of Fight. Now, Footprints of Fight is a charity that supports families whose children are going through cancer treatment. And they try to bring some benefit to everyday activities for the families whose kids have to be involved in cancer treatment or might be in the hospital or anything like that. And they're in. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so it's like a family support system type of thing. Like, hey, we know this is traumatic. You're going through this, and we're going to help give you some resources to normalize your life as much as possible, type of thing.
Yeah, and I think that's really how it goes. They help families with your average everyday costs, whether it be gas or food cards or staying at a hotel if your child is at a hospital, that type of thing. They try and help out with the day-to-day activities to try and help kind of bring that normalcy to life, and so you don't have to worry about some of the things that you would have to go through in that. And we like the idea of supporting a little bit of a smaller charity where you feel like every dollar is going straight there. So, and their insignia, if you look at the Footprints of Fight, and if you're interested, footprintsoffight.org online. But their insignia, or what they use as a trademark, is basically a yellow footprint. With kind of an infinity insignia in it. And so that dovetails really, really nicely into Bigfoot and the Sasquatch. So that worked out. We raised just a little, let's see, how much did we raise? I want to say it was close to $3,000.
Yeah, I remember they were selling like hotcakes last year. I remember. Didn't you have to reorder like once or twice or something like that?
I did. I had to reorder a couple of times, so that was the idea of the Sasquatch on the patch. Really kind of blew up nationwide. We send these patches all over the country, and I get requests sometimes from all over the world for them. Wow. It's very difficult to take in money from different places in the world and try and send patches. So it's a little more difficult for me to send them across the world, but we certainly get requests from all over the U.S. We also have traded with other agencies who have their own pink patch program.
Oh, nice.
So we built a collection of about 15 or 20, maybe even more than that, patches from other agencies that do this, that are involved in this program, in the hopes that we'll make a display of those patches at some point in time. So we haven't quite done that yet, but that's kind of in the works. This year, we again decided we needed to make a dramatic change to the design, but we also wanted to keep Bigfoot and the Sasquatch on there. And again, with Footprints of Fight, supporting Footprints of Fight again this year, I was looking for something that had some kind of not only just Sasquatch on it, but more of a foot type. Right. And having a big foot on there basically. So I was able to I found some artwork that kind of matched up with what I was looking for, and we put together this year's patch, which you probably can see in the frame here.
All right. If we go to the wide shot, you can see the patch right here. So. There it is. And then also we have one that
on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, on your shoulder. That's true.
If they can see it.
If you jump to the close up of Ryan Smith, you can see it on his shoulder there. You want you to turn it a little bit more. Turn it a little bit more. There it is. There. Yeah. And then I think we got a still frame of one being held by our local legend.
Celebrity.
Yeah, local celebrity. It's a great patch. I love the look this year. I love the pink footprint. It's really cute. And like you said, Sasquatch resonates with so many people that it just adds to the collectability of it.
Yes.
So
and that's kind of what we were looking for. Not only does the city use the Sasquatch on a really regular basis, so it has a lot of play here in the city.
Right.
But nationwide, people think it's pretty cool, and there aren't any other departments that have the Sasquatch on their patch.
That's great.
I think we're it in that circumstance.
That's
so
nice.
A lot of the other agencies will change hues and tones in their patches a little bit, but generally keep the same design. Whereas it's been fun to be a little creative with the patch and try and do something different every year. And I'm already trying to cook up the ideas for next year.
Right.
But to be able to get some different artwork I think it kind of resonates with the officers too. They get a chance to have something different on their shoulder every October, and so to change it up every year and make it kind of a collector's item has been a lot of fun, and it kind of been creative, something creative to do.
Yeah,
so,
that's great. So how many officers in IPD participate, put it on the show? Is everybody putting it on, or mostly, or what?
So most agencies that do this program, they will provide the patches to the officers, but switching the patches out on your uniform is kind of up to you and at your cost for the officer. So we have officers that don't want to put too many stitching holes in a jumpsuit, or don't want to do that to uniform shirts or whatnot. So I'd say about a third of the department does it,
nice.
and that's really okay.
That's a good number.
Yeah, it's nice to have the individuals that are really supportive of it, and then I understand for the people that either
I don't think you want a pink patch on your tactical gear.
No,
I don't know. I was just thinking. I'm just saying.
I could probably make it in grayish pink hues next year for the tactical gear. So.
That would be cool.
Yeah, no doubt. So we did look at this year allowing officers to order actually a pink badge as well.
Oh,
so
wow.
Like Washington State Patrol wears a pink badge in October.
Oh, cool.
They don't do the patch.
Okay.
The badge is a little easier to change in and out. Doesn't require you to have any work on your uniform. Unfortunately, I didn't get the ability to order that out quite fast enough. The company we go through for badges takes quite a while, and so hopefully next year we can work on that. And for officers that want to wear, that would rather do that, or we've also talked about doing hats with hat patches or something like that, so that for the people that were really concerned about changing out patches too often.
Yeah.
So, and then you'll see some of our sergeants and our corporals also. Last year, we were able to get the pink stripes.
I noticed that. Ryan Smith has the patch and the stripes. Yep. That's amazing.
It does. It flows really well together.
And when you look at some of the agencies down in California, I mean, when they start advertising this, I don't think they did it this year, but they generally have a huge booth at the LA County Fair, and they sell all kinds of memorabilia. But when the run-up starts for this, their chiefs have pink stars on their collars. They start wearing pink shirts underneath their uniforms. So they've found ways to integrate the pink farther and farther into
really
into
cool.
the program. So
nice.
Some of the agencies that do it are really passionate, and I get letters from people, from officers that do the same program across the U.S. that are really passionate about the program. So it's really interesting to see that kind of growth.
Yeah.
Especially when we started, there was about 250 agencies, and like I said, this year there's going to be upwards of 400 of them. So.
Right, and this is what you said started about 2013, 14, right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge expanse. How are you doing this year? How's the sales going? How long can you buy them? I mean, if somebody's watching this or hearing this somewhere, how do they reach out to you and get to one? Can they just go to the city website?
That's a great question. The patches, we'll sell the patches until we sell out of them.
Okay.
And sometimes that happens faster. Like last year, like we talked about earlier, we ended up ordering more because we sold out pretty quickly. I ordered a few more this year than we did last year, just simply because we ran into that problem. You can buy them at the front desk at at the police department, 130 East Sunset Way. So nice. They're $10 a piece, and about $8.80 of that or so goes straight to the Footprints of Fight.
Nice.
We get shout out to the Black Knight emblem and graphic. He does this at cost for us.
Oh wow!
So that we get patches at a really really reduced rate,
Yeah.
and that way we can give the most amount of money to the charity. So if you can order them by mail, and so you can shoot me if you're interested in ordering by mail or interested in other ways to pick them up. You can always send me an email at ryanr@issaquahwa.gov.
Nice.
You can go online to thepinkpatchproject.com and search for Washington and go down the list. There's now about 6 or 7 agencies in Washington State that were doing it. We were the second by about a day.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, the city of Pasco beat us onto the website by about a day in
Darn Pasco.
2017. Yeah, so but I'm really excited to see it grow in Washington State, and one of our coalition partners, the Normandy Park Police Department, started doing the patch this year. Mercer Island, which is another one of our another one of our coalition partners, they do the same. So
Oh, nice. I'd like to get all those coalitions. That'd be great if everybody.
Yeah, it would be good.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, so it's there's several agencies in Eastern Washington. I think Thurston County, the city of Cosmopolis, they've done a patch the last couple of years. So we've got a lot of agencies in Washington that have kind of picked up on this, and it's been really interesting. It's been really neat to watch this grow, because you know that money, all that money, is going to charity, and that's going to benefit people in need. And
that's great.
So
what an amazing program. I mean, it's so good that we were early adopters. I like that.
Yeah.
The city can be proud. This is a really cool program. Hope it keeps going for years and years and years.
Yeah, me too.
That's amazing. Good work on that. Yeah. I just love it.
I agree. Good work, Ryan.
Well, thank you.
So, that's kind of Pink Patch. But we're in that, like you said, it's Halloween time, and so I think we're going to have little kids out in dark, going to door, get the candy and all that kind of stuff. And I know that it's a time that we should think about safety and tips. And I think we have something that actually involved both of you, Ryan Raulerson indirectly,
Yes,
and Ryan Smith directly. We did a couple of years ago. We did a fun little PSA on being safe, on making sure you're visible out there, and kind of pushed, sent people to a place to get some more tips. I think it's an opportunity to take a look back, and then maybe when we come back, we can talk about more tips and ideas on staying safe on the Halloween. So let me bring this up real quick.
So everyone can see where I got started.
yeah. I think you won an Academy Award for this.
Yeah,
I think so.
it's definitely good work.
Let's see. Right there. There we go. And we're off.
Trick or treat.
Happy Halloween!
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Hey, where did you come from? We couldn't see you there. Don't you know it's not safe to go trick-or-treating in a dark costume?
Don't worry, we can help.
In the excitement of Halloween, it's important to stay alert of your surroundings. Make sure you always stay on the sidewalks and only cross at corners or on crosswalks.
For more Halloween safety tips, go to issaquahwa.gov/police.
Happy Halloween!
That was
amazing. I would agree. I think the kids were amazing.
The kids were
amazing. I don't know about the two adults in that.
I don't know. It's a little sketchy there, but you guys, no, that was a fun thing to do. We all three of us were there. We all worked on that together. And let me get back to our screen here, and just give me a second. There we go. The old Quah Order. There we go. We're back. Pink Patch. So yeah, that was fun to do. And those were your kids. They did an amazing job. And you're okay.
That was me.
You're all right.
Fortunately, that hasn't led into any acting careers yet. But, I'm hoping
for the kids or Ryan, me.
Right.
That's right.
That's okay.
Right.
Well, you kind of acted like an adult a little bit, so that was good.
We'll see.
So yeah, I mean, in that video clip we talked about, we kind of showed you with some lights on you. So what are some basic tips that you'd give the community, or do you want to direct them someplace where there might be some more tips or information? So, other than us producing another video, but
Well, you can always go to the video. I'm sure it's still on there on YouTube.
It's true. It
right?
is on YouTube.
I think the main thing is, I mean, we have a lot of information on our website, issaquah.gov/police, but I think the big thing is kind of like the video says, it still doesn't change. Being visible is important when it starts to get dark, and it is getting dark early. Making sure that, kids are with their parents and, don't let your kids off, but having flashlights, markers, glow sticks, whatever you want to do. Reflect. You saw in the picture of me, I had reflective tape across the front of me, plus all the, you don't have to go crazy, but you need to make sure that you're seen and safe. But be very, very, very careful about crossing crosswalks. So make sure you're double, triple, whatever, checking a ton, because it's very easy for a car to miss in the dark. And if it's rainy, which is that time of the year, right? It's probably going to be rainy. The visibility gets affected. Yeah. So just make sure that we're going, make sure kids are going as slow as possible. I know that's hard for kids because they're excited to go get their candy. But so I don't know, Ryan, if you have anything else to add to that.
I think you kind of covered everything right there, huh?
Yeah.
So I was going to talk about darkness and that type of, with rain and stuff like that, but I think we covered it. So
Right.
And just watch our video. It's amazing. So
It is amazing.
over and over and over again.
That's right. I had to as I edited it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Sergeant Raulerson, thank you for joining us today and telling us all about the Pink Patch program. It's an amazing program. Just as a city employee, I'm proud to know that you guys promote this and do a really good job with it. And it's fun that you use Sasquatch. I think that's a bonus and a plus. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Thank you.